You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Cabral Concept. Thanks for joining me here again today on this Friday review edition of the show. Can't wait to get into what's been happening this week. I'm actually traveling as I'm recording this show. I am out at the world's largest expo for natural ingredients for nutritional supplements. So each year, I try to always attend the largest trade shows where manufacturers and suppliers from Europe, from South America, the Amazon, everyone comes together and shows you the best of what they have, new delivery methods. And this is how I find out, essentially, how to stay in that cutting edge. What are the best delivery methods? It's where we found our DR caps about 5 years ago, and this was the absolute best way to deliver our daily probiotic support product to bypass the stomach acid, but not have them be enteric-coated, so it's better able to be absorbed. So that's why I love going out to these shows, going and talking with the experts, actually seeing where our ingredients come from so that I know that I'm able to provide those in my private practice and you all around the world, as well as myself and my own family, with the best quality and healthiest version of nutritional supplements out there. So excited about that. It's been an absolute whirlwind, and by the time you listen to this show, I will most likely be on a flight back to Boston. So thanks so much for tuning in today. I want to go over so many different things. There's a lot to go over today. I have 3 research studies to bring you. Hopefully you tuned into yesterday's research study on the one nutritional supplement and what type of exercise to do to really improve overall physical function as aging and make sure that you cut down your chances of getting high blood pressure or stroke. So check out that show if you didn't. That was episode 1350. Today's show is 1351. And I will be going over an amazing promo for this week. I'll be going over IHP, 3 research studies like I talked about, where I'm coming up against a brick wall with infrared saunas and EMFs. I'll also be going over my new Monday night Ayurvedic meals, as well as a book review. So much to go over. Let's just dive right into the show. So every couple of months, we open up the Integrative Health Practitioner Certification and course. We have our course for the general public. We have level 1 for those that are looking to get certified as a health coach through us and work with people all around the world, virtually or in a private practice or in someone else's practice. And then also level 2, where you start to learn about labs, and you can use those at-home functional medicine labs in your own practice. So pretty amazing stuff. It's one of my absolute favorite things to do in life. I love to teach, just like on this podcast, but in the IHP certification, I get to go much deeper. Level 1 is about 40 hours of teaching on video seminar that I give each and every week as it unfolds for people. And then in level 2, well, you have another, I believe it's 70 hours of actual coursework. And this goes much deeper into functional medicine lab testing. So each and every month, we allow 100 new students in. It could be someone, half of the people have no health experience at all, meaning like no health coaching experience. They just want to learn more about, we always say, healing yourself. So learn more about healing yourself, and then learn how to pass that information on and heal others. That's what it's all about. I mean, that is the way that we are going to move forward as a society. You're not going to learn it in school. There's no chance. The media is not going to teach you. There's no money in it. There's no advertising in it. And you're certainly not going to learn it from your conventional medicine doctor, which, again, nothing wrong with conventional medicine. They don't have the know-how, and they don't have the education to teach you this. So you're not going to learn about it. I want to teach people on the podcast every day. We're going to be doing video, all about video in 2020, and IHP takes that to the highest level. It is my book, The Rain Barrel Effect. Well, it's that, but greatly expanded. So if you're interested and there's any spots left, just head on over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org for more information on that. This week also, we have our 10 million download celebration. Hopefully you've heard at the end of each podcast this week, but we hit 10 million downloads on the Cabral concept. It's going to be, for me, a month-long celebration. And, just extremely grateful, just absolutely grateful that I get to do what I love every single day, and that's teach. That's it. That is it. If I could only do one thing, it would simply be to teach, meaning that if I couldn't see people in private practice doing labs, well, at least I could teach about labs. And if I wasn't able to, again, travel all around the world, do all these different things, speak at different events, head to Germany in another week or so, well, what I would do is I'd be able to teach through IHP. So I love teaching. That's what it's all about. And I just want to thank you because of you sharing it with friends and with family and coworkers. This has been all organic. There's been no paid advertising. And together, we've hit 10 million downloads because for me, I can't click downloads that many times, right? This is truly a community effort. I want to thank everyone who's a part of CabralSupportGroup.com, our free Facebook group, who's a part of IHP, those private Facebook groups, and everyone who downloads, listens, and has reviewed the Cabral concept. We are almost at 1,000 reviews. If you haven't left a review, if you wouldn't mind, if you've ever gotten any benefit, just head on over to iTunes or your favorite media player. It takes less than a minute to leave a review. If you could leave a review for me, I would greatly appreciate that for the Cabral concept. Either way, I thank you for being a part of this. And if you haven't already heard at the end of the podcast, we're giving you $10 for whatever you'd like at Equilibrium Nutrition this week. It goes through this Sunday. Just use the promo code 10 million. It's 10 million, MILLION. And you just pop that in at checkout under the promo code. We don't use promo codes very often. We don't ever have any sales except for twice a year for Equilibrium Nutrition. And so this is kind of just one of those fun things. Anything over $29.95, I think, is you get $10 off. So $10 off your favorite nutritional supplement that you typically would use anyways, or you want to try something new. It's a great time to do it. You can put it towards a lab test, whatever you'd like. It's a small token of my appreciation. And do stay tuned on Instagram all this month as well, because towards the end of the month, I'm going to be running just a contest just for people who follow me on Instagram. And again, it's just my name, Stephen Cabral, and that's Stephen with a PH. So once again, thank you so much. 10 million downloads. It's unbelievable. Never thought I'd be here, but here we are. So thank you very much. All right. Let's move on to a couple things before we get to our research. I've been working for the last 6 months to create a lower cost portable sauna that you can use in your home. I want everybody to be using sauna. That's the bottom line. Just like exercise, just like sleep, it's like if you can use sauna, you are going to, again, there's no guarantees in life, but you're giving yourself a great chance to improve your overall health, wellness, weight loss if you need to, and live longer. There's no doubt about it. So I've been trying to create a portable one because most saunas are $3,000 to $5,000. And then when you get a good, and I've linked it up before, good portable infrared, you can just go to stephencabral.com/podcast, type in sauna, you'll find the previous recommendations, especially on last year's holiday guide. But they're still EMFs, even though they're lower. Good. I like lower EMF. I'm trying to create one with 0 to very low. And it's not easy, right? It's not easy to do this. And I was hoping to have it out by the holidays. I just want you to know I'm still working on it. I'm still moving towards it. The first versions of it might not be the prettiest, but I'm going to get you one that's going to keep you safer and it's going to be lower cost. And again, I just want you to know, because a lot of people have written in, I'm doing my best, for sure doing my best. I will never put out anything unless it meets my morals and my ethics. It's very important for me. I've given up a lot of financial gain in my life because I choose to do things, I believe, the ethical way, and that means I can sleep very well at night. So I think that's worth something. But when it's ready to go, you can be assured that it's trustworthy. And also, of course, I'm going to give a video showing the low EMF. So anyway, I'm working on it, and I hope to have it to you early 2020, a low-cost portable infrared sauna. Almost there, not quite there yet. Okay, I posted on Instagram just last week my new Monday night Ayurvedic dinners. And so many of you know that Monday is my typical fasting day. I'm doing the 24-hour or one-day fast, as we call it. If you've never heard about that show, head on over to stephencabral.com/podcasts. That is where, of course, you can find all of my previous podcasts. But when you do that, just scroll down just a little bit on the page. You will find a search box there. And let's type in one-day diet. Let's see if we can find it together right now. And I can give you the exact one to check out. called the 1-Day Diet, and it will enable you to help reset your body, especially if you've had a cheat meal that weekend or so, and it will enable you to better detox the body. Okay, so I just did the search, and if you put things in quotations, it narrows it down even more. And if you type in 1-Day Diet, you'll see that I did it on episode 1019. So just head on over to stephencabral.com/1019 for that previous show on the 1-Day Diet. So I either use the 1-Day Diet or I just completely fast. Just water fast, sometimes some hot ginger tea to sip on throughout the day. And that will be from Sunday night through Monday night. And at Monday night, I will do dinner with my family. And Sunday night, we typically do a little earlier dinner to get the girls in bed a little bit earlier for the start to the school week. And we'll do dinner around 5:30 on Sunday night or so. So I go from 5:30 to about 5:30, 6 o'clock the following night. That's a 24-hour fast. And I posted my Ayurvedic dinner, which was purple potatoes, and I'll get to that in just 1 second. Dal, which is split mung beans, and I had with that broccoli, and I had some jasmine rice. So that's not an unusual meal. The typically, I'll just do like the purple potatoes or the rice. I won't typically do two starches, and then we do broccoli a lot, and we also do other things, but we do broccoli a lot. And then at night, it could be dal, it could be many different other types of protein. So this is based on the Ayurvedic detox meal of khichdi, and I've done a previous podcast on khichdi. And khichdi is an Ayurvedic recipe, which is essentially just white rice for ease of digestion. And I didn't understand that, again, 12 years ago. Why would they use white rice? It should be brown rice. Brown rice has more nutrition, this. But again, you learn more, you accumulate more knowledge, and now I get it. You know, the Ayurveda, they did white rice because it takes no digestive effort, really. It's low on lectins or other things that might be harder for the digestive system to digest when someone has gut-based issues. And they're using a curry-based spice. They're doing split mung bean. Typically, it might be green split mung bean, dal, or it might be yellow. That's that. And then just, again, the curry-based spices, really simple meal. You can add some chopped up sweet potatoes if you'd like that. And we did purple sweet potatoes. So I will try to post that image at stephencabral.com/1351 for you today. It already passed on Instagram, but check it out. Just check out my Instagram stories if you're interested. And I've been eating a lot of purple potatoes lately. I really am always going back to the research and just saying, okay, what does the research say? And the longest lived population, of course, it's not just diet alone. It's reducing stress. It's, the emotional-based stresses. It's all of those different things. But, 60% of their diet was purple potatoes. The Okinawans, it was purple potatoes. That was a big bulk of their diet. And purple potatoes they have even more antioxidants and anthocyanins, that blue-purple color, than wild blueberries. So when you look at that, you just say, that's pretty phenomenal. So there's a few different types of purple potatoes, and I'll go through them on a whole separate show. If people are interested, just let me know. But the main ones we have in the U.S., and mainly the U.S., is called Stokes purple sweet potatoes. And they have a purplish color skin and a bright purple inside, okay? They are a little drier on the inside. You definitely want to add a little olive oil to them, or if you're someone that uses ghee, you can add a little ghee. Now, the Okinawan sweet potatoes are actually very different. They have a white skin, very unique. You'll know when you see them in a supermarket because it's a white skin. Maybe a tint of gray, but basically they are a whitish yellow skin. And inside, though, are a beautiful purple potato. Now, these are not as dry. This is what the Okinawans ate. Now, it's sometimes called Hawaiian sweet potatoes. So, again, just be aware of that. It's not always called Okinawan sweet potatoes or Okinawan purple potatoes. It is sometimes called Hawaiian sweet potatoes. They're actually, they believe, originated from the Aztecs in South America. And they were brought with the Spaniards and different types of trade back to China, the Philippines in the late 1400s, and eventually getting to Japan in somewhere around the 1600s. Again, hearsay as to where it came from originally, but these purple potatoes or Hawaiian sweet potatoes are just absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to talk more about them in the future, but that is what I've been eating a lot of lately. You can order them online. You can get them at your local. Sometimes they have them at Whole Foods. foods. And you can definitely get them at a lot of Asian-based supermarkets or markets, and that's where I get mine quite a bit of time in Boston as well. So really inexpensive. I mean, when you want to talk about eating healthy and having it be super cheap, a pound of these sweet potatoes costs $1.99. And you're not going to eat a pound of sweet potatoes at your meal, right? So for like 99 cents, you can have your sweet potatoes. A very inexpensive meal. This is under $5 to make and super healthy for you. So we've been doing that quite a bit on Monday nights. Absolutely delicious. A great Ayurvedic detox meal to end my fasting day. Okay. Next up, I want to share with you is my book review. So I read this book a while back, realized as it's sitting in my bookshelf, as I typed it in my podcast, I never reviewed it with you because sometimes I don't get to all these great books that I've read. So this one is by Dr. Alberto Villoldo, and it's not pronounced Villoldo. That's my poor accent. But his last name is Vlloldo, and it's called Grow a New Body. It's an excellent book. It really is. This is a nice one to add to your mind-body repertoire. It works on your mind. It works on your body. And it works, I should say, on your spirit. This is a shamanic-based book that also blends nutritional biochemistry. I believe Dr. Alberto Villoldo has his PhD in biochemistry, I believe, and has been working for quite some time in that field. And I believe more just talking about research in books now. I believe he's in his early 60s. I might be mistaken about that. The age, of course, does not matter at all, but he has a lot of experience. And so he wrote a really nice book. And I know that you'd benefit, of course, from reading this, which is why I'm passing it along to you. For the most part, completely agree with it. Other things when talking about DHA versus EPA supplementation, very minor stuff, right? Very minor stuff, I would say. I have a little bit of a disagreement with. It's not that DHA doesn't matter. It does. But from a clinical perspective, again, someone who works as a clinician in practice, I can tell you that EPA is actually more important to supplement with. You need DHA. You should have DHA, but you need EPA as well. And you actually need more EPA than DHA. And because, again, the clinical lab tests back it up, EPA can convert to DHA as needed in the body, but EPA is needed at a greater amount as an anti-inflammatory, for hormones, for the nervous system, for stress. So again, DHA needed as well. Not saying that it's not needed for the brain and nervous system. They're both needed, but minor tweaks. Again, it's a fantastic book. I don't want to say there's these little things of why I can't recommend it. Of course not. Great book, super knowledgeable doctor, and I do believe that you'd get a lot of benefit from reading this as well. And it goes into mind, body, and spirit, talks about limiting beliefs, a little bit of like what we talk about us with our Mindset and Motivation Mondays, and kind of like the rebirth of you and your body. Quite nice. Again, it's called Grow a New Body. I will link it up today at stephencabral.com/1351 with all of the show notes links today. All right, I'm going to bring you some rapid research, all right? 3 studies I want to bring to you. The first one is this. The first one is, I don't want to end with this, so I want to bring it to you first. It's bad research, right? It's bad, it's limited research. This is what it looks like. Don't lift weights before cardio exercise, okay? This was published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise, done by researchers at Nottingham Trent University in Nottingham, England. Okay, don't lift weights before exercise. People who did upper body exercises before cycling, which is biking, had a 35% decline in endurance. Possible reason? Working the shoulders, arms, chest, and back may also tire the legs as lactate and fatigue-related substances move through the bloodstream. Okay, well, that is absolutely true. If you do your weights before your cardio, you will have less cardio output, and that's because it's not just the lactate that's moving through your body. Well, there's a certain amount of ATP that your body has. There's a certain amount of energy that your body's able to produce. There's a certain amount of glucose that you have available for your body. All of those things will decline with whatever exercise you do first. Here's the thing. You should always do weights before cardio because if you're actually looking for body fat burning, you'll burn more body fat when you do your cardio after weights. But the other thing as well is that unless you are looking to become a competitive cyclist or a competitive runner or a competitive cardio person, you should do your weights first because you actually want the endurance, you want the energy for weights first, because then if you do cardio first, the limiting factor will be weights afterwards. So here's the thing. Your cardio will benefit your cardiovascular system, which is your heart and lungs, after weights no matter what. Now, if you're looking to beat a personal record in terms of endurance for cycling or for running, yes, then don't do your weights first. But again, this is what we call very limited point of view research. And when you were to read this study, you're like, oh yeah, I shouldn't do my weights first. No, only if you're a competitive cyclist looking to do this for college or looking to do this for your sport, right? Everyone else, do your weights before your cardio. There's always, again, reasons why you could do cardio first. But for the majority of people, do your weights first. Get the most benefit out of that. You'll have the least amount of injury risk. Then do your cardio afterwards. All right. Let's get rid of that exercise. I still will link it up today at stephencabral.com/1351 because it's valid research. It's harmful when given to the general public without a greater viewpoint. Okay, let's go over this next one. So, recommendations on calcium supplementation. Again, MDs, PCPs are still recommending calcium for strong bones. The problem is, this was debunked about 30 years ago. The research debunked it, and here's why. Because if you're taking calcium, it's going to begin to harden the arteries. When would it not harden the arteries? When taken with magnesium. Again, in natural medicine, people who study nutritional supplementation, like the orthomolecular people, such as Andrew Saul or Linus Pauling or all of these great researchers, they would have told you many, many years ago that, yeah, magnesium is needed to counteract calcium's ability to pull more calcium into the arteries and cause plaque or cause something we call atherosclerosis in medicine. Here's the thing. You still take calcium. You just need about a 2-to-1 ratio of calcium to magnesium. Some people could even benefit from a 1-to-1 ratio of calcium to magnesium. So what's an easy way to do it? Well, you could do 500 milligrams of calcium and 250 milligrams of magnesium, or 1,000 milligrams of calcium and 500 milligrams of magnesium, or more magnesium if you choose to. Again, really easy to do. We've been doing this for years with our Cal-Mag Complete. It's the most absorbable form, good for the bones, good for the nervous system, good for the muscles, good for the brain, good for the body, and also good for the arteries. So again, this is super important to look at that. Check that out. It's called Cal-Mag Complete. I'll link it up today at 1351. But again, you never have to use the brand that I formulate for, which is Equilibrium Nutrition. You can use your favorite functional medicine-based brand, but it should be functional medicine brand. You don't want to use calcium carbonate straight just by itself unless you're using the magnesium with that or you're using it for an alkalizing based effect like we use in our alkalizing vitamin C. But we don't use that form in the alkalizing vitamin C for the bones necessarily and minerals. We use it to alkalize the actual buffering form of vitamin C in the stomach for those people that have acid-based issues with taking vitamin C. So again, there's always a reason why. As long as you're working with a good functional medicine company, they've already done the research for you. So hopefully that's helpful. Again, 2-to-1 ratio. This was from, let's give credit where credit's due. The latest one was from Dr. Dennis Goodman, an MD out of New York University School of Medicine, and the author of Magnificent Magnesium, Your Essential Key to Healthy Heart and More. All right, I have not read that book, so I can't necessarily endorse it, but that is the person writing that article. All right, the last one of the day, last research of the day, I want to share with you this. I shared it with you last winter. It's still valid, and we have some good research behind it. I actually feel like I published this before, talked about this before, but it was published in Primary Care Respiratory Journal. All right, Primary Care Respiratory Journal. This was a better cough remedy than steroids. I want to repeat that. This natural version of cough medicine for adults was better than a steroid drug. All right, here it is. Honey mixed with coffee reduced cough frequency by 93%. 93%. Almost 100 compared with 20% for a steroid. All right, here's how to do it. Mix about 5 parts of honey to 1 part instant coffee crystals. Drink 1 tablespoon of the mixture in about 7 ounces of water every 8 hours as needed. So what do? Well, they did a little bit of instant coffee mixed with 5 parts of honey. I don't recommend instant coffee. Most brands aren't great. Now, there's a few brands you can get that are decent, so I'm not going to say that. But here's what you can do, because I like to make life easy. Just keep it easy. get yourself a small cup of black coffee. If you want to add a little bit of nut milk, fine, but it really should be black coffee. Okay, so try black coffee. Then, this is it. All you need to do is add 1 tablespoon of raw local wildflower honey, or even better, raw Manuka honey. And if you've never heard about Manuka honey, go to stevencabral.com/podcasts, and I'm going to see if I can find it for you. Type in Manuka, which is Manuka. Manuka. I'm typing it in myself. Let's see if I can find it. All right, there's only 4 search results. And it's on episode 1106. That is it. Episode 1106 if you want to learn more about Manuka honey and the 2 different versions of it. Really important. Check it out. Manuka honey is a powerful nutritional supplement that can work as an antimicrobial. It can work as so many different functions to boost the immune system. Check it out. That's episode 1106. And again, small black coffee, tablespoon of Manuka honey every 6 to 8 hours. You can use that as a natural cough suppressant. And again, that's why there's pros and cons to coffee, right? So hopefully today's podcast was helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being one of our 10 million downloads. I appreciate you. Honestly, I really do. Thank you so much for your views. And of course, if this podcast was helpful, please do feel free to pass it along to anyone else you believe it could serve. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stevencabral.com/courses.